Now, today, how do you like my chasuble? Huh? Everybody calls it pink. It's not pink. It's rose. Okay, don't tell Father Sarah that I wore pink. It's rose. Okay, and we only wear this twice a year. In the middle of Lent and in the middle of Advent, okay? And we call today a Laetare Sunday, which means rejoice Sunday, joyful Sunday. You know why? Because, Lent is coming to an end, right? I can't do this anymore, Father. All this Lenten business. Come on, let's get over and get to real stuff like resurrection, and I can go back to smokes and candies and chocolates and all that stuff, right? But I hope we are making some progress during this time of Lent. And we are at the heart of this Lenten season in the year of mercy. And we have a beautiful story. We have heard this story many times. Probably one of the most emblematic stories of all the Bible. We have heard it time and time again. And we can't even begin to delve into the heart of God the Father, who is shown on this story. Today we would like to talk about not only the Father, not only the Son, but the family that is shown in this story. And we would like to reflect the situation of my family, our family. How are we doing as a family? Do you all have a runaway son? Like, at least when they were teenagers, I ran away for about 2 weeks, and then I ran out of money and had to come back. But anyway, sometimes you say, I'm going to disown you, and then, son really goes away. Does it make you feel really good that he really went away? Not really, right? That's how parents' hearts are. But with this story, I like to go back to the beginning, when there was God the Father, and there was a garden, and there was Adam and Eve who were happy in that garden. And you know what? They kicked the bucket and said, that's it. We don't want to be your son. We don't want to be your daughter. We want to be God to ourselves. Heck with you. And that's what they said. And you know what? They drove themselves out of the paradise. And all those years, God the Father was looking out to see when humanity may come back to Him. He had never ceased to love His creation. He has always waited at the gate for the Son, for the humanity, for you and me to come back. This is the heart of the Father in the story. The Son was still far away, yet because the Father's heart was with him all the time, he was always watching over the horizon, knowing that one day he will be back. And this, my brothers and sisters, is the nucleus of our religion. No matter where we are, who we are with, no matter what I am doing, God the Father is waiting for me. And you know what? Adam and Eve, they had everything great, yet they kicked the bucket. But Jesus, Son of God, had that experience of the Father. And because he had certainty of the love of God, when he was hanging upon the cross, nothing was working for him. He could have really kicked the bucket, yet he said, Father, why have you abandoned me? He said that with his words, because he felt like it, but he never gave into that temptation of despair, because he knew that the Father loved him. What is our relationship like with the Lord? Do I have that foundation of spiritual life in my life? Do I have that experience of unshakable love of God in my life that keeps me strong? It doesn't matter what situation I am in. Or am I still adolescent in my faith? Comes this, I think about this. Comes that, I think about that. I go with this wind and I go with that wind. And I doubt and I come back. And we have no center a lot of times. Why? Because we lack that certainty that Jesus had, Mary had, of the love of God. When we begin to lose our trust in the Lord, when he doesn't become, he is no longer the bedrock of our existence, then we begin to have problems with each other. Adam and Eve, they began to point finger at each other. She said, but he ate it too. It was the serpent. And our relationships begin to crumble. And how sad it is to see that we profess ourselves to be Christians, we profess ourselves to be Catholics, but we have so much hard time loving each other in our own families. Do you have brother or sister that you haven't been able to speak to for a long time? Because I hear it all the time in confessional, like, Father, it's been 2 years since we don't speak to each other, you know? And then there are many, many issues. Sometimes for money, you know, mom and dad, they work so hard and they leave some money. And because of that, brothers and sisters become enemies. Dear brothers and sisters, we're living in the year of mercy. If we cannot have mercy on our own family members, on our brothers and sisters, then what kind of mercy can we offer to others? It would be all empty words. There's no way we could have true love for our brothers and sisters who are further away from my brothers and than my brothers and sisters, when I can't love them first, when I can't love my father and mother first. And this is what we're called to do. Imagine the excruciating pain of the father seeing this older son giving out to his brother instead of rejoicing with him. How often we have, you know what? We who go to church every Sunday, you know, we could become very much like this first son, and we judge everybody, you know, with our own measuring sticks. And the story of prodigal son tells us of a loving father, a patient father. And we have to experience him. So let us ask Jesus in this Mass. Let us ask him when he comes into our hearts through his communion, that we may have the same experience that Jesus had of the Father, so that we may have the strength to offer the same patience and same mercy that the Father has for us and for each and every one of human beings. Amen.